Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play series, the 1941 campaign playing as the Soviets. In this episode, we're going to be doing the first portions of our ground movement phase of turn 6 for kind of the northern half of our front. We are now in the last week of July, so we are about to enter into August, which will be a tough month that we need to survive. But again, the goal is if we can make it to the winter, the late fall, the muddy season, without losing Leningrad, without losing Moscow, and maybe with only losing a couple of objectives in the south like Sevastopol, but hopefully that means we will be able to survive the 1941 winter, have a strong counterattack, and ultimately go on to continue the scenario for quite a while. Now, right now, I actually already have done the air execution phase, and pretty much just followed the same setup that we had in the previous episode. So what we did was a lot of ground interdiction across the front line, just trying to slow down the Axis advance every which way they may try to go. And looking at it, we find that they really did not make much of an advance here around Peskov. Really, from what they were able to accomplish in their turn, my primary concern in the north right now is how it looks like they may start to break through here south of Lake Gilman. And you see that I really don't have meaningful forces to try to slow them down right now. So we're going to have to try to solve for this, and I think it's very likely that when we bring in reinforcements, we are going to bring in reinforcements to help out this line south of Lake Gilman, because this could be a devastating weak point if we do let them go straight through east to Rzhev, because that's a bit of a larger pincer movement as they look to bypass Smolensk. That we need to be aware of. We can get a lot of our forces trapped if we're not being careful enough with defending this north-south line that we have here. And really, we should make a solid attempt to try to defend it, because it is very defensible terrain. I mean, this is very tough going for them to try to get through this. So let's start in the north near Leningrad here. Right off the bat, we see they did push back a unit or two during their turn. We can actually look at that real quick. Actually, let's just do the ground combat. There was just this one attack here where we ended up retreating. Really no damage was done to them, and we did see that we had some air combat, right, where we had sent up fighters and they did their darndest, but it just wasn't enough. Over by Lake Gilman, my goodness, so many battles. So right off the bat here, this was a pretty quick victory for the Axis player. I'm a little surprised by how quickly it happened, where we just lost a couple hundred men. Odds were pretty, they weren't 1-to-1. You see they're 2.3 to 1, but in terms of number of men, it was about 1-to-1. Down here, it actually took them a number of attempts to break through in some of these areas. So they ended up attacking 4 times here. And unfortunately, it wasn't until the 4th attempt that we actually did do some damage, although it wasn't as much as I would have liked. You see that we did take out 5 of their armored fighting vehicles, which ended up being Stug 3s and Panzerjäger 1s. When we look south here, where they went next, you see that the first battle, we didn't do too much, and the second we did not either. So neither side taking really terribly difficult losses there in these battles. And then they continued pushing south of Lake Gilman here. First just scouting, and then ultimately winning a battle where we did lose 1,500 men, which was a little disappointing to see. Up here they pushed north as well. Again, took 4 battles in total. First 3 we managed to hold with minimal casualties on all sides. Sorry, forgive me, I was looking at the wrong axe. We did hold against all 4 attacks. It was nothing too serious that they came at us with, but it was nice to see that we held this swampy ground where we had put a fair number of units to really try to have an impactful defensive line here. What I think we have to now consider is we find ourselves against the 6th Panzer here, as well as 2 infantry divisions and a 3rd over here. That totals 40 offensive combat value just off the bat. We have to think about whether or not we're going to bring in any type of reinforcement to try to hold that. So for example, maybe we take one of these units south and move this unit in Novgorod down. I like that idea. The problem is then we don't have any type of 2nd layer defensive Novgorod. And this unit maybe make it down. It can, so that would add a little bit to it. Maybe in conjunction here. Okay, yeah, but let's start left to right to maintain some order and continuity here. So here we have this naval infantry unit. I'm actually just going to pull them back because I want them to have to go through this terrain and through our zone of controls and all that before they actually end up attacking us, right? So we're going to bring them back to here. And then we have these 2 units where I think we're actually going to split this up. See, what I'm debating right now is if I want to move these units back. Kind of want to keep them here because we've managed to actually build some fortifications. So I think what we might do is like take this security border guard unit and move it here. This unit's on refit, although it looks like maybe they're doing better now. Yeah, they're pretty close there. They're missing all AA machine guns and flak, so pretty vulnerable to ground support. But I think we'll set them to ready, and I think we're going to move them south here to try to help. Let's take them to... I think we'll take them to this hex right here. There we go. Just trying to add some layer here in depth to our defenses where really we don't want to let them too easily bypass and encircle or split the forces that we have defending here. And given the number of panzer units that they have, that's certainly a possibility for them that they can do. Looking north towards Stalingrad, we see we have a lot of fortification efforts going on right now. Yeah, still can't move you guys, that's fine. I'm sitting here going, though, like this tank division. You're still so low on supplies. My goodness. We must be running out of trucks and vehicles. Which certainly did start to happen right as this shock and awe of Barbarossa started to accumulate, right, of holy crap, what are we doing? We've got here another naval unit, and I think I might actually move them south to again try to slow the advance. Because it's just a couple thousand men, and really the bulk of the defense that I have here is the rifle division. So I think what we'll do is we're going to move this unit. You can either move them here or here. I think I'm going to move them here because I worry more about them breaking through to the east. Right? If they break through to the west, okay, great, that's fine. But now hopefully this guy can lower the combat effectiveness of any units that then try to break through this area. I'm pretty sure I was moving this rifle division down into position. And I think I will move him down here to this hex. So now we have 22, which means they don't even have 2-to-1 odds anymore, which is certainly good news, right? Here we have 24, same story. I'm not saying they won't break through, but it just becomes much more difficult for them. And I think what we can do is take a look and say, okay, what types of support units might be available to help these units? And here we have anti-air, but they're really not a full enough TOE. but we just don't have any support units at all. Is this an issue where we have them in our reserves, but we don't have them deployed? Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But you look here in these anti-tank regiments, they're not built up either. That's an anti-tank brigade even, not a regiment. There's some anti-air units. But again, their TOE is all at 0, right? So it's pretty difficult to have those deploy. So no support units there to help. I think I will take this rifle division, though, and set them to reserve status, so maybe they can come in and help with the defensive position of this line, effectively. And I think we'll do the same here with this unit. So hopefully that helps. Novgorod is just a city we will likely lose, but want to hold on to it as long as possible because it is a pretty key crossroads when you look at the supply chain here, right? So there's this rail line heading east towards Moscow. It connects north to the large rail line to Leningrad. It goes south to Peskov. It even heads west over here near the Narva if you follow this line. So it's a pretty important crossroads that we want to consider. We've got quite a few units up here, and I think I might take, for example, this rifle division and move them down to actually start fortifying kind of behind the lines here. I think I might move them here. Because as I mentioned, what we have to start considering is... Oh, this guy was on refit. I did not want to do that. There is an undo, and I think I'm going to do it because I should have seen that. Yes, we're going to leave him there. I really hate using that undo button, but I think in that case it's fine. Yeah, we got a lot of units here on refit. It's really kind of the story. These militias I want to keep around Leningrad itself. This rifle division might be a bit of an exception to where maybe we could move you down. Yeah, let's move you down here to this hex. You can start entrenching there. And then I think I will take this Leningrad militia and move them up. There we go. Okay. Good stuff there. Over on this side, just that rifle regiment, which is fine. It's a bit of a stopping force, right? There's a debate if we can maybe move these units out, because they're really not advancing too quickly here. So let's maybe take one of these and have them come over here to add some depth to our defenses. There we go. Again, it's not much, but it's going to prevent them from, say, having this Polizei SS Infantry Division element just steamroll through the hex without any opposition, right? At the very least here, they don't even have 3-to-1 odds if they were to attack with this unit, etc., etc. So hopefully that helps a little bit. So feeling like quantity-wise and terrain-wise, we're starting to build a defensive line, kind of defending the path to Leningrad, and then in Leningrad itself starting to build out the defensive perimeter, which is just so critical to hold Leningrad. Then we need to continue to look, and we already kind of have this shape going, right, where you see these guys are at a bit of an angle where I need to start pivoting them like a door to build this north-south line. And as units retreat, I think that's what I'm going to be doing is, okay, they retreat, pull back. Like I said, ultimately probably going to lose Novgorod, but I still don't want to get pushed further east of Lake Gilman, right? Like I want this to kind of be the hinge on the door that goes up to Leningrad, because all the way through here we have great terrain to defend with, and more terrain even behind it. So that's kind of the goal. And it's just a bonus if we can hold these hexes here, because this is this rail line that goes north to Leningrad all the way down from Moscow. So that's just a bonus if we can also hold this rail line, as this double tracked is much more significant than the single track rail line coming out of Leningrad to the east. So lots happening there. Now we turn our focus to south of Leningrad. Like I said, here we're looking much weaker, right, in terms of what we have to offer for defense. So I think what I might do is, these units have gotten a little beaten up. I think I'm going to have them withdraw back, as I will also with this rifle division. This HQ, of course, can just retreat a little. Move them up a little bit, that way they stay in range of those other units. This infantry division, just going to have them fall back. This airborne brigade had to retreat, actually. Going to move back this rifle division, because right now it would just kind of be, well, maybe I will hold that, and I'm going to move up this airborne brigade to make it a little bit more difficult for them to get behind us. Yeah, I think that works. And here, this airborne corps, I'm just going to move back the HQ. This rifle division, I just want to hold Straya Russa as long as I can. Not sure how it's going to go, but we're going to give it a try. Down here, because I do have these defensive positions and they haven't broken through yet, I do want to try to hold this line as long as I can. Yeah, but I don't want to get cut off either, so it's going to be a constant back and forth battle of how far forward to stay and when to retreat. I can get this guy off the train since I saw him there. Need to now look at how we defend Smolensk, and I'm actually going to start in Smolensk to make sure that I'm allocating units to the right areas, because the defense of Smolensk itself is the priority. Here we have plenty defending the city itself. Again, their objective is obviously to go around us, to envelop the city, so we have to pay close attention to our flanks to try to prevent that. Here we have like these tank divisions, which are great, but really I need to be able to defend the flanks. And you are an a rifle division that is just hurting. I don't know how much you're going to be able to contribute, even if you're in heavy woods. Because right now you're in swamp and you're still at defense value of 1. So I think I'm going to have you pull back for another turn here and sit refit with this guy. Yeah, this rifle division too, same story. And this rifle division. Yeah, so they were pretty successful with some of their pushing here. This guy I'm going to take off refit. No, I have to leave him. He's not quite ready. Yeah, he's not. I thought he was closer. Alright. I think what I will do is take one of the rifle... That's risky. Debating taking a rifle division from Smolensk itself and moving it north. But I don't think I can afford to do that. Yeah. Need to switch you to ready. So really I just need to do a bit of a shuffle to start bringing units this direction. So you can go there. You can go here. Okay. Keep going like this, right? And I'm just going to be withdrawing here from this area. There we go. Bring you back out. Because there's no reason to have these guys get trapped. You you might just have to sacrifice yourself a bit there, bud. Yeah. Move you up here. There's nothing defensible about that position, though. It's going to exhaust you, but we're going to move you all the way up there. You can come up. And then here I might leave these guys, because it's not like they're at risk right now of getting encircled. Or do I just pull them back? I think I'm going to leave them. Yeah, this rifle division is going to be on refit. We're going to bring them back here. Bring them back here with the HQ unit. I'm trying to get within range, but I can't. This rifle division's on refit. You're on refit. Let's at least have you stacked on in HQ. Don't know that we need... Yeah, well, this is Valeki Luki. I keep forgetting that. I do really want to put up a good defense of this city as much as I can. It's like here. Can I take you off refit? I'm gonna have you go kind of defend north of the city. Ultimately hoping you guys can retreat back. I don't need 34 right here though, so I'm gonna have you go over and help with the defense of the Smolensk line. Right? So hopefully that helps there. Okay. You know, honestly, I think I need to pull at least one of these guys back. I'm going to pull them back here. This HQ I'm going to take back. Boy, he's out in the middle of nowhere here. It's a great defensive position, but I'm going to pull him back too. Yeah, because honestly, them breaking through the northern flank of Smolensk is more worrying to me. So I think I'm going to have him come all the way over here. And yeah, there we go. Okay. Starting to build out a defensive line. To be fair, we've already had a bit of a defensive line, but building it out more, so I should say. Let's take you over here. Again, Smolensk the priority. Have you come back there. You guys are on refit still. Tank division, are you still refit? Yep, you have no medium, no heavy tanks. That's not good. Okay. So there's that. Forgot I have these HQs. And again, I think I'm going to keep doing some of the maintenance here off camera. This is just all still Moscow militia. It's fine. Okay. So we still have this hole here north of Smolensk. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the 252nd and move them here. Yeah. Just to make sure they don't completely break through here. I think I have to. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're concentrating any of their offensive forces here in the front. The frontal assault of Smolensk. Boy, it's tempting to just hit that Panzer division. But we have to save our strength. Because right now, it's 1-to-1 odds, so if they bring in any other full-strength unit, they can break through this hex. Okay. Now we look at the other flank, and we go, yep, time to pull some of these guys back, right? That's fine. Knew this would happen. I think I'm going to take this rifle division and bring them up here. Take this HQ back here. This guy's not going to be able to make it out. But I guess I could at least move them here. And then you, I will take... Where do I want to go with you? I think I'm going to bring them here. Now on this side, I can start bringing up some of these reinforcements I have. Right? So this is going to look pretty encouraging. Refit, reserve, refit. You're ready to go. So let's get you here. There we go. Full strength rifle divisions over here. The difficulty is terrain. We no longer in this pocket right here have terrain on our side, so we kind of have to build our defensive line in this kind of U shape here. So I'm going to bring them up here. Here. I don't think they'd be able to break through this turn, next turn, anything like that. But I want to at least start getting these guys up here. So maybe have a mechanized unit down here. This is mountain division. Doesn't look like it's some tank divisions there, but I don't want to get too crazy with where I'm assigning everything. Maybe I take this rifle division and have them come up here. There we go. And then you can go... So I need to start kind of fortifying here. So we're going to bring them back. Hopefully they can start entrenching a little here. You know what? You're on refit, so you can go up here. And you can keep recovering, but you can do it in a place where you can start digging trenches. Yeah, okay. So now, right, the eastern front of the eastern flank of Smolensk is looking a little bit more layered, a little bit more deep, right? They have to go through a lot of units here to break through. I think the main thrust of their attack will come here from these 3 infantry divisions and this 4th, 5th, etc. Because they don't really have too many motorized elements in this sector. I've got more units here that now I'm just going to kind of move these in to take the place in the line of some of these other guys. Yes, we'll bring you here. This mountain division. Let's move them up there. Gonna set them on reserve. You can come up here. All right. All right, this is looking better. This is looking much better. I'll do that off camera. This airborne brigade, I'm just gonna leave them there. Right, just gonna say, hey, please project your zone of control to all of these units that are trying to move and attack us here. And you can go to refit, and we're gonna put you back here kind of behind our lines. Same thing with you. A lot of units on refit. Whole lot of units on refit. I had brought up these units were going to kind of be the reinforcement elements. I think I'll have some of them come up now. Just kind of positioning themselves, starting to build trenches everywhere, etc. A lot of units that need to be refit. Here we're trying to move these guys south, right, to make sure we have a defensive line by Kursk. So we've already started to build a lot here. I'm pretty happy with kind of how this is looking, honestly. So I think I might just bring some of these forward. Is this light woods? No, it's clear. So let's bring you there, you down to there. You can come all the way down south. Okay, good stuff. I don't see any point in losing you there, so we're just going to have you pull back and go into a refit status for now. And this rifle division, we're also going to pull south, I think. We're going to set them on refit. There we go. You're already on refit. You should be on refit. The HQ can come back here. Okay. Oh, God, you're hurting too, aren't you? My goodness. Okay, let's have you go here. Refit. This HQ unit can come back. South 1, there we go. Both of you? Really? Okay, well, you guys have to stay, because I need some type of block here before they just open the plains towards Kharkov. Alright. And in Kursk itself, we have this guy digging in. Full strength rifle division. Feel like it'd be better to have him going forward up here. Let's do that. Western front, just gonna move them forward a little bit. The air command. Tank divisions on refit. Yeah, so we've got a lot going on here, but I mean, along this entire line, we've got about 2 lines of defense, 2 layers of defense everywhere we look, which is really good. Right? It's really this entire northern half of the front. I would say the 2 areas that I'm most worried about right now would be if they continue to push as strongly as they have been north flanking Smolensk. I think this will die down really quickly though, because let's just take a look at this, right? 1, we can see some of their supply situation, right? 2, they're in this situation and they have, I would argue, only gotten this far in a situation where they were attacking in clear and open terrain, right? If you look at like these panzer divisions right here, these infantry divisions, the only heavy woods that they have taken, you have to go back to like Minsk, right? This area of Minsk to see that. Between Minsk and Smolensk, they are just now hitting the first heavy woods, the first swamps of defensible terrain. There was some rough terrain here, sure, where they actually ended up encircling us, but that was in large part because at that point we didn't have the numbers that we now have concentrated on the front line. I would argue would be the main reason for that, so. Yeah, let's get you down here on refit. And just kind of reviewing all of this still. So that'd be one area of concern. The second, I would say, if we look to the north, is are they going to make a major push through the southern pass of Lake Gilman? Because at the moment, I do not have the forces to defend that in this area, right? But I think what we will do is we will set one of these cities, like maybe Boulogne, as the reserve reinforcement point. Actually, let's see if that is within range. We can do that. Looks like it is. And when we look at our reinforcements, there's not a lot. Got a couple of infantry divisions, right? Tank battalions and regiments aren't going to help. A couple of cavalry divisions, right? So 4 cavalry divisions. And no airborne or anything like that. Okay. So, yeah, it's not great. It's going to end up being a total of 6 divisions of men that we'll have coming in here. But the key is, can 6 divisions of men, plus what we already have here, will it be able to hold a defensive line even on kind of like this edge of Lake Gilman is the real question. And we're going to have to kind of wait and see on that. And then the following turn, how much can I get in here too? We look at our transfer and withdrawal schedule. Let's look just at this is turn 6. Turn 7, which is next turn. We've got quite a few coming into Soviet reserves. So actually, let's do this. Let's do map or Soviet reserves. Okay. And then when we look at turn 7. Okay, so there's some naval infantry that is coming into the map, but otherwise a lot of this is going to the reserves. And yeah, I'm seeing rifle divisions, which is good. Seeing a number of rifle divisions, a couple of cavalry divisions. I think the question is going to be is what state are they in when they're there? And then the other thing, of course, is that some of these units are locked, so when do they unlock? So, yeah, because it just arrived. So hopefully we've got some good news coming down the pipe to be able to bolster our defenses here. I wonder, so if we look at like the build menu, rifle division, maybe we build some rifle divisions. My hesitancy to do so is that we've got, I can't remember what it was. I think it was I don't know why I'm guessing. I can look it up. Where's our end of turn summary? We have 52 units under strength, 76 that are unready. We can see them when we highlight here, right? So that is so many men that we need to get onto the map directly to the units, not necessarily sitting in reserve, building up 1,000 men, 2,000 men, etc., etc. So I think we're going to hold off on the building and construction of any new units. We will bring in our 6 new divisions into Bolog next turn, which hopefully then allows us to build a bit of a defensive line south of Lake Ilmen. Having a great time, guys. Thank you so much for continuing to support the series, the videos, and the game, most importantly. What a fantastic game this is to play. If you got any questions, feedback, or thoughts, please leave them in the comments section below. And as always, strategy gamers, hoping you have yourselves an excellent day. Bye now.